All right, we are here in our Visualize, Organize, and Prioritize series. This is Teacher Says. Today, I've got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lambs, rams, hogs, moths, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkey, rabbits, and Black Friday deals. Stick around. You don't want to miss this. Hey, you. Glad that you have returned. You are tuned into the Teacher Says podcast, and this is your host, Seth. I am glad to be back on the airwaves, podcast waves, digital waves, whatever wave you want to use to get my voice to your ear. That's the wave we're on. Great. So, as you know, I was doing so good with continuously reporting and being consistent, and life happened. But guess what? Let's forget about that, and we're back. I am really happy to be here in my basement studio. It's a little chilly today, but I'm trying to be thrifty, so I'm keeping the heat off. Plus, it's really loud when I turn it on anyway, and you can hear it. I have my jacket, or rather hoodie on, and I am here today, this week of Thanksgiving, to bring you thankfulness in the forms of Black Friday deals. And yes, that was my alert. So when we talk about Black Friday, we talk about great deals, great discounts, but of course, in this illustrious year, 2020, you better believe that Black Friday will be looking very, very different than years past. And when I say very different, the number one thing that I have been complaining about, retailers have taken heed and are like, we are going to stop the madness and close on Thanksgiving. I mean, color me old school, I guess, but I personally feel that retail outlets should close on major holidays. And when I say major, I'm saying Christmas, Thanksgiving, perhaps New Year's Day. I don't know. Give your employees a break. Allow them to go home, relax with their families, etc. Well, this year, due to COVID, those retailers have finally listened to me. And for the most part, all major big box stores are closed this Thanksgiving and more than likely will be closed on Christmas Day. So they have also listened and realized people like me do not want to stand in a long line for discounts waking up at the crack of dawn. Like, true story. You know how I like to get off on my tangents. Let's see, I guess that was 2004, so about 16 years ago, I was one of the fools who woke up probably like 2 a.m., stood in a super long line to get into Walmart in Gardena, California, when they opened at 6 a.m., I believe. It was either 5 or 6, I don't remember. And once I got there, to see the discounts in their full blazed glory was like cool for then, but I would not, you couldn't pay me. Like, seriously, if you gave me $100 bill and asked me to do that now, I would say, no, not doing it. Not going to happen. But back then, I was a fool and I did it for free. And I remember during that illustrious Black Friday, the only thing I remember buying was a sewing machine that I didn't even use. Once again, a sewing machine that I did not use. Do I know how to sew? At one point in my life, I did. Can I sew now? If you give me a refresher, I can do a little something. Was I ever nice with it? Not really, no. So I did buy a sewing machine, and there was a few other things that I bought that honestly I cannot even recall. Fast forward to the year 2020. It is the hot thing to now, and I hate saying that phrase, hot thing, but to now shop online. that's the way I like to shop. That is my preferential way, especially with COVID running rampant right now. Shopping online is the place to be. So I'm thinking about what do I really want for Black Friday. Honestly, my budget and my pocketbook is telling me not much. But in retrospect, when I think back, if I had all the money in the world, what would I want? Um, I'm just gonna think about what my kids want and try to align my shopping around their needs, really their wants regarding Christmas. As I think and I'm thinking about what I want, during Black Friday. The only thing that's even remotely on my radar is maybe like a Fire Stick, or I've been kind of eyeing Apple TV. I had to get someone younger to break Apple TV down to me because honestly, I really don't understand all of this stuff other than we are a household that has cut the cord for cable, so I don't pay a cable bill. I just pay Wi-Fi, and I pay for a landline. I was not planning on paying for a landline, but I realized my cell phone reception in my house was horrible, and I got tired of people saying, I can't hear you, and thus I had to run to the door so that I would have better reception. I bit the bullet, as they say, and I purchased the landline for my house. Luckily, I don't think I've mentioned this before, maybe I have, I don't know. If I have, I'm being repetitive. There's a website called ID Me. If you are a teacher, if you are a healthcare personnel, first responder, anything of that nature, ID Me gives you insight on companies that will offer you a discount. So because I am an educator full time, that's why the show is not always weekly, I was able to get a discount with rising Fios. So my cable bill it could have been smaller, but it's a lot less than what it was the past few years. So that's bringing the point back. I'm looking at different types of mechanisms, because I don't know what to call a Fire Stick, that I can use for my second TV, so I can get as many channels as possible, like Netflix and all the other ones that I'm paying for. And I'm debating on it's funny because I grew up in a household where we had TV practically in every room, and my household is kind of the opposite. I have one TV in the living room, and when I moved into my current home, I bought a second TV just to say we had two, which is in the basement. And, it was a TV, true story. It was a TV that I was letting my kids use, and I could watch TV upstairs until one of my children learned how to charge $40 in Amazon Prime, which wasn't Prime, on, what did he buy? Paw Patrol episodes. And to this day, I think I shouted out Jeff Bezos because I'm like, dude, you're already rich enough. I think I've mentioned this previously. I feel that Amazon Prime needs to do a much better job making sure that the only channels that we get are Prime channels that are already paid for, and not the ones where you are going to pay out of pocket. That was a huge issue. And my son charged $40 in episodes for Paw Patrol. And there was really nothing I could do about it other than pay it. It's pretty #pissed. But that's neither here nor there. So bringing the point back to Black Friday. So in my show notes, I'm going to give you a link, because it's just too many to name, to be quite honest, of Black Friday 2020 deals. So I'm going to have this episode out ASAP, probably more than likely today. There's lots and lots of different things that you probably really don't need on this list, but I'm going to, give them to you anyway, including Lowe's. You can get a $100 gift card for $90. I think that's a really good deal, because I have realized I'm spending quite a lot of time at Lowe's, at Home Depot, trying to get my home together. Like, even over the weekend, I had to go to Home Depot, and it wasn't had to. I went to Home Depot to purchase a artificial Christmas tree, as I lost custody of my last tree. So the artificial Christmas tree that I purchased, that was budget friendly, That's something about it I didn't like, which was pre-lit lights. LED lights were already embedded in the tree. I don't like that. But the only other alternative was to buy a real tree, which I did not want to do, or do what I did when I purchased my original artificial tree, which is I bought it at the crack of dawn on December 26th, like right when Walmart opened. I was there and I was able to get a very nice size, probably like 7.5 feet tree for, I think I paid like $20 or $25 for it. And the retail original price was 80 or 90 bucks. So I felt like I did really well with that. I'm more of, and come to think of it, I tend to enjoy shopping more on December 26th than Black Friday. I don't know what it is. I like to scoop up all the Christmas deals. But going back into my list, my Black Friday list, I also see Nintendo Switch remote wired controller, They have that for $9.99. Tons of TVs, including Nike. I was unaware that Nike sold TVs. This is kind of weird. But I've seen 65-inch TVs for $249, 75-inch TVs, which is a Sony, for about $900. Even I'm thinking about these TVs, other than the fact the smallest one is 50-inch, and the largest one is probably the 80-inch, 70-inch TV. Or, I'm sorry, I misspoke, 75-inch TV. And it's funny, as I'm looking at this, I'm like, all these TVs are huge. I'm very simple. The TV I purchased when I moved to my new home is only like 22, 25. It's not big. I'm not going to get the tape measure out right now. But it's certainly not that big of a television. And I like it that way. I like small TVs. And like I tell my own children, I don't have a TV in my room because honestly, it's pointless. I fall asleep watching TV in my bed. Always have, and probably always will. I see deals for Apple TVs as well. And that's pretty much it. So like I said before, I'm going to go ahead and leave the link to this in the show notes, as well as the other point I wanted to make. And it's just too numerous to name, but savings deals, meaning couponing, that you can find via Instagram. I found 6 fantastic couponers that I'll leave their IGs in my show notes. A few of them do glitch deals, which a glitch is something wrong with a website, and they tell you about it, kind of advertise it, and you jump in when you can fit in ASAP before the webmaster or the company, or whatever you want to call them, discovers the glitch. So for example, like I've heard, unfortunately I've never got to partake in things like this, but I've heard of glitches on airlines where you can fly from like New York to London for $50 round trip. I'm just giving an example, but something of that magnitude, which is it's a pretty amazing deal, if you can catch it. And then sometimes too, the company will cancel it with the glitch. Like I know a friend of mine sent me a glitch deal for desks at the beginning of virtual learning, and I was like, oh, but then I was like, because I didn't really have the space for it. So there's that. So moving forward, I want to hear about your Thanksgiving. How do you plan on spending your Thanksgiving? This year is a very unusual Thanksgiving in terms of being not able to socialize and be around family like you have in years past. Everybody wants to stay safe, does not want to catch COVID-19, so, we're not traveling as much as we used to. We're doing Zoom Thanksgivings, which, okay, here's my tangent again. I am not really understanding, I understand, it just doesn't sound fun to me, the whole Zoom party, let's have this on Zoom, that on Zoom. A friend of mine had explained like Zoom birthday parties, and she went to one where someone hired a DJ, and I actually had to ask questions like, so let me understand this, because I truly, and I'm not trying to be facetious, funny, or cutesy. I truly do not understand how it works. Like, so you all just get together and you dance with the DJ, but everybody's like on Zoom, and you just have your Zoom picture up or your Zoom video up. And I was told, yeah, that's how it works. And I cannot lie. I'm like, not for me. It's just, I don't know. I don't. It just you're just dancing alone, really, and looking at your friends dancing in their own little boxes. It sounds very Brady Bunch. I don't know. I just use Zoom for work. I don't really. It does not appeal to me to use it for other purposes. I think maybe I just need to give it a try, and I'll come back and be like, oh, I tried this Zoom party and it was fantastic. Or one of my friends was telling me about somebody, like a bartender, showing people how to make drinks on Zoom. And I'm like, but you still have to go and buy the ingredients. And she's like, yeah. I was like, eh. So then how would that work? I don't really like pour drinks down in my office. I would have to take my Zoom to the kitchen. I don't know about that, because I don't like pulling Zoom up from my phone and then my laptop in the kitchen. That sounds messy, you know. So if anyone out there can share with me how these Zoom parties work, or even invite me to one, I'm a fun person. I would like to see a party in action. Hit me up in my social, because I would love to see how that works in reality, because it sounds very awkward and strange to me. But perhaps I'm just being an Aquarian and difficult. I don't know. So back to our different type of Thanksgiving this year. I've offered to cook, and my offer was declined. I was slightly insulted because I can cook, but you know, it is what it is. I'll be with a very close group of family who I see every weekend. So, and I live like 15 minutes away from me, so I'm not going anywhere far. Eating Thanksgiving food, trying to be cognizant of what I put in my mouth. Pause. Because I've been doing pretty good with my keto activities. I guess you could say modified keto, because I do eat peanut butter and some things that are not super keto-ish. But I've been doing real good with my newest find is spelt flour, and I'm probably saying this incorrectly. Pancakes. They are so good. It was an acquired taste the first time I had them. I didn't think they were all that great. I didn't dislike them, but I liked how it had me feeling afterwards, because I love pancakes. But the problem is, when I eat pancakes, I feel sleepy and heavy and tired all day. Like, I don't. The older I get, the more I'm like, these pancakes have me feeling kind of tired, like all day. So I tried creating pancakes with spelt flour, and the difference was like night and day. I feel lighter. I can eat my pancakes and go about my day without being tired. Kind of reminded me of a better feeling. I was just telling my friend last night why I like brunch, but I don't like brunch. I'm like, I go to brunch, I have two mimosas or one mimosa and a peach Bellini, and I feel tipsy for the rest of my day. Like, not good. Good, but not good. So, tying the point back to Thanksgiving, this year it's important, I pay attention to what I'm eating. I don't want to feel super sleepy and heavy. I always say when I'm Thanksgiving, or anytime I eat a large meal, I end up feeling sleepy for the rest of the time I'm awake, oftentimes leading to a nap, which I really don't want to do. So I will fill you all in when we come back next week how I did for Thanksgiving, because it is always one of those events where I just seem to not follow through on my intentions. And my intentions this Thanksgiving is to eat lighter, not so heavy, and not be sleepy. And I was informed there will be no Macy's Day Parade. Not to say I love it, because I really don't, but my kids like to watch it. So there will be no Macy's Day Parade this year. And, off topic, I get on my tangents. My daughter and I had movie night on, I don't know what day it is, Friday night. and we watched Jingle Jangle, and yeah, it was a lot. I heard about it. I said I was not aware it was a musical, and I'm very sometimes with my musicals. I don't really generally I don't care for musicals. There are a few exceptions to that rule. Like I like Hamilton. Um, I love ooh I love The Lion King. I guess those are all plays, but yeah. So Jingle Jangle was okay. My daughter said the same thing, and I didn't think it. I'm just thinking it was me. So we're always looking for new holiday movies to watch. I know I need to start getting into the Hallmark channel, I guess, for movies, holiday movies. Although there was this one movie on Netflix, and I need to do it justice because it was a little different in a good way. And I was like, this is a weird holiday movie, but I like it. And weird just meaning it was something different than your traditional holiday movies. And I have to do it justice and find the name. I don't really want to spoil anything about it, just that it was different in a good way. Oh, wow. I guess I'll have to put it in the show notes because honestly, I looked that up and I don't see it. And knowing how my brain works, I would probably forget the name of it anyway. So there was that. And they sure don't have it here. They have Jingle Jangle and nothing else. Wow. Maybe it wasn't. No, it was a holiday movie. I'm like, maybe it wasn't. But no, it was. Yeah, so there's that. So in other words, what else is going on that I need to make you aware of? I think I've covered it all. Other than the fact that I cannot find the name of this movie that I really want to tell you guys about, and I'll probably end up putting it in the show notes because it was just so different than holiday movies that I've seen before. And I don't see it here. Wow. Oh well. Alright, so I think that's about it for this week. Just wanted to jump on the mic right quick to let you know about holiday deals. As always, I love it if you like, rate, and subscribe for the show. And you can follow me on my social. Being that I'm off for Thanksgiving for the next couple days, it is my intention to kind of keep the social updated. That's all. See you next week. Bye-bye.